Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the upcoming ban list, if there is any, for the global scene. Please note that this is a discussion on the global side, which is not going to be something that is revealed in the Bushiroad strategy presentation. So we're going to be talking about the English ban list and what my thoughts are for cleaning up any of the formats and just making sure that the game is in a healthy state. If you guys need any additional help with BCS, or if you guys would like some coaching, hit me up on Metafy. My link is in the bottom right hand corner here. https://metafy.gg/@Derek-Dow. Feel free to book in a session and then we can get going. All right, so the ban list, everyone's favorite topic, every quarter, every season, whatever it may be. So I'm going to give my thoughts and my opinions on what should be banned and what should be restricted, what should be unrestricted, etc, etc. I'm going to name only 5. There's probably going to be more. There's probably going to be like little things that kind of need to be in checked or in like a watch list or something. But I think naming 5 of the most problematic things for the game across all formats is probably the best way to do this. And then at the end, I'll put in some notables that, if Bushiroad is watching this, can take into account. So this is going to be the very first one. I know everybody wants it banned. It's overtriggers, okay? But this is not going to be part of the top 5 that I think will be banned, because realistically, the overtrigger will not be banned in standard, all right? So I'm talking from a point of view, the overtrigger should be banned in premium. But in the case at the moment, I highly doubt that the overtrigger will be banned. And if it does, then God bless, all right? The overtrigger is a problem. We've said it, multiple times, like it gives undeserved wins. And even if you win off an overtrigger, you feel bad. If you lose because of an overtrigger, you feel bad. It's just not healthy. Gives anxiety, gives brain damage, gives emotional damage. It's just really, really bad. So I think with the uproar of the overtriggers at the moment, it is in Bushiroad's interest to ban it than to keep it unbanned, because you'll probably satisfy more people by banning it than not banning it at all. So if you want to test banning overtriggers, the time is now. And to be honest, if you're going to upset, the community in terms of the overtrigger, I think it is best to ban it now, see what the response is from the community, and then go on from there. But I think that, let's just say 60% of the community would say, overtriggers are problematic, at least for premium anyways. So if you have the chance to, Bushiroad, if you're looking at this video, watching this video right now, if you're testing or if you're thinking of banning the overtrigger, the time is now. And, if you want to find a time to test the waters, it's right now, okay? But aside from that, obviously overtriggers is a problem, but we're going to talk about the 5 most problematic things at the moment, okay? So we're going to start with premium, because premium is a landscape that has warped completely with the introduction of Clan Collection, as well as the rise of some old cards taking a huge impact into the metagame. So the first one, before everyone's expected favorite, okay, is MFD, or Interdimensional Dragon, Mystery Flare Dragon. This card is unfair. There's just so many cards at the moment being released in V Series, V Clan Collection, potentially in like the future, that will make this card faster. The deck already is fast. You can reach 19 bind with the help of Reanimate Dragon, the Gear Puppy that you get from Shop Challenge for BCS season. The card is insane. The fact that you can ride going first onto a grade 3, which is your Chrono Jet, go into a grade 4, and before you ride into your grade 4, you bind 19 cards, 19 grades, and you get an extra turn before your opponent can set up anything. That is ridiculous. So I'm sure people who have tested this deck can say that this deck is unfair. Now, there's been discussions also where should we limit it to one? Should we do this? Should we do that? Maybe choice restrict it with like Reanimate? No. The reason why I say to ban it is the card itself, regardless if you choice restrict it with Reanimate Dragon or the Gear Puppy or whatever it is, then you're going to get into a situation later down, you know, couple years, couple sets maybe, that a new busted card comes out and makes this card problematic again. So what is the root problem? The root problem is Mystery Flare Dragon. So why not just ban the dragon, right? You know, you still have Chrono Jet Dragon, you still have Steam Maidens, you still have like all these good engines. Why don't you just play Gear Chronicle and, you know, play it on a leveled field than playing some high roll deck that, you know, can just wreak havoc if you go first, and if you go second and you break and you feel bad, right? So also, the reason why I think we should ban Mystery Flare Dragon now is because multiple people are spending, you know, $500, $1,000, thousands of dollars to travel, right? To play premium, to play the game that they love, and they're gonna sit there and then boy Timmy on the other side of the room, right? Oh, I'm versing Timmy. Timmy opens his Mystery Flare Dragon, goes first, binds 19, you know, gets all of his, you know, extra turns or whatever it is, and then just wins straight up, like without any, you know, skill or effort like that, right? So it feels bad, especially if you're spending a lot of money to travel, and of course, you know, you're spending a lot of money because you want to go to Worlds, you want to qualify for Worlds, you want to travel because, you know, you want to play competitively, but in a setting where, you know, high roll decks are a problem, this card needs to be attended to, okay? Now, following from that, high roll decks that need to be attended to is not only Mystery Flare Dragon, okay? The next one is Ripples. Now, Ripples, we kind of expected to see the revival of Genovius with an Excel marker, right? So the fact that it's partner in crime Flash Ripple Odysseus got unbanned from the previous, you know, restriction that it had initially is quite surprising, okay? Sure, you know, the power level of Genovius, like back then without the Excel marker, probably isn't up to par, but now that Genovius is out and with the incorporation with Flash Ripple Odysseus and the cards with Stoicaea where you can recur this Odysseus, you're able to generate insane amount of Excel markers. Not only that, you pair it with like the likes of Coral Assault, Pursuit Assault, your numbers just get too big, right? Not only that, you also have Tharvas. Tharvas rests itself to retire something, and if you use Odysseus multiple times, you essentially get a free board wipe for no reason, right? So Flash Ripple Odysseus is a problem. And again, there's the same scenario comes in. You're gonna go into this BCS tournament, you're gonna see Ripple on the other side of the table, they go first, they high roll you out of existence, they generate 5 Excel markers, they restand, and there is nothing you can do about it. And sorry man, like, you just spent $800 to fly to this BCS event, and that's that. Like, there's no way you can counterplay that. So these two cards in premium are a problem. They need to be banned. Mystery Flare Dragon and Flash Ripple Odysseus, get rid of it, right? I don't want to put Odysseus to 1 because Stoicaea cards can recur the card, right? The likes of Spiritual Body Condensation, Alenia, there's a new grade 1 that comes out in set 6 that can bring back Odysseus. Sure, it's a one-off, but you know, there are ways to search it, right? Like Genovius top 5 searches. It's just too many things going on with Aquaforce that allows you to draw like Pursuit Assault, Coral Assault, Norisses. You will find it, right? And if you don't, then cool, then you're just playing a normal game. But it's talking about the one instance that you find it, then that's the problem. So yeah, ban Mystery Flare Dragon, ban Flash Ripple Odysseus. That is your first 2 things that you should definitely do for the global ban list. Now, with those 2 hits, let's just say they get hit, then we need to look at the next best deck, which is Narukami. Okay, everyone knows Stunverse is a super strong card, but if you pair it with Exterminate, you punish your opponent for anything that they do, right? If they commit a board, then you go into Stunverse. if they don't commit a board, you go into Exterminate. And you get massive power, draw a bunch, and then there's nothing your opponent can do about it, right? It's not locked behind Counterblast. Well, sure, you Counterblast 1, you give your front row like minimum plus 20k. Let's just say your opponent doesn't play a front row. But the fact that you punish your opponent regardless of what they do is pretty nuts, right? You also have engines like Cho-O, Virina Esperadia, restanders that are able to restand those units that get massive power. And with the introduction of Vowing Saber Dragon Reverse, you're able to, Stunverse, bind a bunch of cards, give power to all your units, and that's that. Like, there's nothing your opponent can do, right? So, with Narukami being like the third best deck, behind Mystery Flare, behind Ripples, then I think the restriction there should be Choice Restrict, Stunverse Dragon, and Exterminate. Okay? So the reason why I chose to go this route is that Narukami then can focus on one side but not have the other, which I think is fair, right? If you're building, with Stunverse, like, focusing on Stunverse, then you don't have the power or you don't have the draw facility that Exterminate gives you. But then if you're focusing on Exterminate, then you don't have the control factor in Stunverse, or the punishment of like hand ripping in Stunverse. So yeah, I think the choice restriction between those two gives Narukami a little bit, how should I say, it makes it become a bit more tame, right? Then at least, you don't go into a BCS, you verse Narukami and then they go into a Stunverse, you feel bad. They go into an Exterminate, you feel bad, regardless of what you do. So I think the choice restriction is quite good in that sense. And then obviously, if it doesn't work, then we reassess for the next quarter, right? Okay, so that's pretty much Premium. There will be notables later on if you guys continue to the end of this video. But the next format I'm going to talk about is V Premium. V Premium, there are two things that should be hit. The first one is a choice restriction between Gurgit and Percival. Now, overall, I think Percival is a dumb card, right? Percival is actually so strong. Like, you can put that thing in any Gold Paladin deck and it just automatically makes it much better, right? So, yes, I do agree that, if it ends up becoming a super problem later on, right, then there might be a discussion for a Percival ban. But in this case, the problematic thing at the moment for V Premium is Gurgit and Percival combined together, right? The fact that you can get multiple excels and then the power inherently from Gurgit because you have those excels combined with like multi-attackers like Max Slash, chaining into your Sagramors, your Wonder Ezels, that is a problem, okay? Sure, the format sped up, but if you go first as Gurgit, you jump using the Ezel engine and then you ride into your Gurgit, oh look, you found your one-off Percival. You just high roll your opponent out of the game, yeah? And I think this is the discussion that we've had in the previous format as well, before Clan Collection. Like, Gurgit and Percival, I don't know. I don't think they should coexist in a deck, yeah? Sure, you can maybe think Percival should be, maybe limited to Bluish Flames. Only Bluish Flame decks can play, Percival with, core, whatever it is. So, maybe that's a solution, but I think at least, from the surface level, we should definitely choice restrict Gurgit and Percival so that they can't coexist in the same deck. Now, the second card that definitely should get banned is Silver Singer Coutia. Coutia is crazy, right? That card reads, search your deck for any card and add it to hand, okay? Now, we've seen it in BRO. We've definitely seen it, time and time again. The card is insane, right? You can essentially search your deck for any card. And if you look at Manlong's game in BRO, you play your likes of Sedna, filter through, all your threes, your Ange, your whatever it is. And then Coutia finds it in Aqua. Aqua bounces, draws one, and then you can use Coutia again. And then if you have 3 Coutia, you just pop them down, search for 3 free cards, use Ange to bounce them all back to hand, and call it a day, right? So this card itself, sure, you may deem it as fair, but the interaction with this card is not fun, right? I don't want to be sitting there, you know, 25-minute rounds where 20 minutes of that is my opponent literally flicking through his deck to find the card that he wants multiple times. It's just not fun, right? I don't want to be sitting there. I've got things to do. Man, if I'm hungry, I want to go get something from the cafe, all right? I don't want to be there, all right? I want to finish my game quick. I want to make sure that, you know, the least brain power is being used when I'm at a BCS, and I don't want to be sitting through Coutia and, you know, looking at every card and then, you know, flicking through every card. And I also don't want to remember the names, all right? But the names bit doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're sitting in a tournament scene and your opponent is flicking through cards in their deck to get the card that they want. So the experience is bad, right? It takes too long. This was the same discussion with Dorian. Dorian in Premium took too long because the interaction took too long. So this is the same. So if there was any reason for Coutia to be banned, it is because it takes too long, right? Maybe the card is deemed as fair, which it, in my personal opinion, is not, right? It's because of the interaction, right? So those are the two restrictions for V. Now, going to the notables. The notables, I would definitely say lift the Harry and Alice ban and ban the correct Nightmare Doll cards, alright? So whether that is choice restrict between Alice and Leslie, or Alice and Ginny, or Ginny and Leslie, one of those options, that is the correct ban. So uplift the Harry ban and ban Alice with Leslie, yeah? The second one would be maybe watch Skeleton Navigator. Skeleton Navigator allows you to, you know, burn through your deck and then essentially get to like a state where the new Premium Collection Stride is insane. So maybe put that on a watch list as well. I don't actually think that there is anything on the standard side that needs to be, you know, attended to at the moment. I think the format is quite good. Maybe, I think on the JP side, there's like Kyrie and Nirvana. I think those two are on the watch list at the moment. But in terms of standard, I don't think there's anything that needs to be attended to. You may look at Coutia for Premium as well. Again, Premium has multiple bounce operations, which makes Coutia a little bit more unfair in that regard than it is in V Premium. But then again, you know, this is just notables that, you know, if Boucheret, if you're watching this video, yeah, take notes. Yeah, and that's pretty much my 5. So just to recap, Mystery Fillet Dragon, Ripples need to be banned. Narukami, choice restriction between Stunverse and Exterminate. And then in V Premium, a choice restriction between Gurgit and Percival, and probably ban Coutia. And then the notables, you know, as I said, lift the Harry Alice restriction and ban the correct cards. So Alice and Leslie, or Alice and Ginny, or Ginny and Leslie. And then maybe look at Skeleton Navigator and Coutia. So I think those, and then obviously, if you get the opportunity to, ban the Overtrigger. Okay, cool. And that's pretty much it for me today. Thank you for watching. This video is actually up just before the strategy presentation, so make sure you give this a watch. Actually, you would have watched it already. So yeah, give me a like. That's more like it. Give this video a like. Comment down below what you think about the, you know, the opinions that I have on the ban list. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.